haven't got to formally meet everybody. We've met informally. And I want to thank you for, when you came into your orientations, you went through those with Gina, who filled in for me as I was out of the district, and I appreciate that greatly. Tonight is our reorganization meeting. It's the only meeting that I call to order. So tonight I called the meeting to.
I would like to nominate Carol Roy as chairperson of the Hollis School Board.
Excellent. Do I have a second? Second? Excellent. So I have a nomination and a second. Is there any discussion?
Carol Roy's been doing a great job. From the 1 year that I've worked with her, she's been, the deep history now going into this school board. She's very organized. She's very sharp. She definitely knows what this school board is about, and I think she'll do a great job taking over the position of chairperson. So I feel very confidently in her nomination.
That was really nice.
That's very honest.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? 5-0, and I pass it over to you, Carol, and congratulations.
Thank you, Superintendent Corey. Nice to have you here. And thanks to everybody for being flexible on the meeting time. Kurt.
Nominate Michelle Lawler for Vice Chair for Hollis School Board.
Any seconds?
Second?
Second by Ann. Any discussion?
I also work with Michelle on the PTA, and Michelle has some incredible skills in terms of being able to listen to feedback and incorporate it into planning for the future, and conducts herself in a very professional and kind and generous way, and she will be a valuable vice chair.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor? Vote for yourself. 5-0-0. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, and now I will take nominations for Secretary of the Hollis School Board for the 2024-25 term.
I nominate Ann Wake de Pasquale. Sorry, I have to roll that.
Any seconds for Ann? Excellent. Discussion? I'm a member. I'm going to discuss.
Okay.
Ann has been a member of the Hollis School Board for the last year. She's taken on a lot of administrative roles and leadership roles on different committees. Very valuable member of the team, and I would love to see her succeed in this role.
Thank you.
All right. All in favor? 5-0-0. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. So we have to appoint 2 members as.
I was saying, how the school spends money. It is not necessarily a rubber stamp, though I pretend that most times, things have been pretty well vetted and there are very good reasons for them, but it is okay to ask a question. There was, when there's something that's a large expense that I just don't understand, I ask, and it's always responded to very, expediently, very thoroughly. No one's going to be offended if you ask a question.
Not at all.
But I always look through it. And it has been very informative being in that position.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is something that you can do from home.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's nice as you guys are new board members to get into the building, into the SAU building, and get to know the staffers just kind of by being present. Because the first year I did it wasn't available. You had to go in and look at paper. And so it was like, here's the everything for the month, flipping through all this stuff. But it is something that's electronic. Are there a couple of you that would be interested in participating on that? Ralph, I see you. You guys want to take on that?
Yeah.
Would you like me to put you as alternate, Michelle, or do you want one of the, or just traditionally one of the, does it matter?
It's whoever has the availability to get there in a pinch.
Okay.
We don't, we did have to fall on you a lot as alternate, but we don't usually have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that
So-
was fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't mind that. It was very easy, and I knew it was coming. So we'll appoint members Zach and Lehens to our. We had a whole discussion for those of you at home about pronunciations of last names. So forgive us if we giggle and laugh through them for the first meeting or so. So Rafi and Michelle are going to be Jessica are going to be appointed as signers, and we'll have you as the alternate. Sound good? So we're still ahead of schedule a little bit. Andy, do we want to move on to a different item on the agenda, or should we start the public hearing a little early?
Well, we can't start.
From January 23rd, you mean January 3rd?
Yes, sorry.
It's
January
okay.
3rd,
I just wasn't sure if
2024.
I was looking, I'm like, did we meet them?
No, yes.
Yes, so I move to accept the minutes of January 3rd as amended.
I second that. Any discussion, Anne? Do we have anything to say?
No appropriate changes there, so we're good.
Sounds good. All right, all in favor of accepting the minutes?
Yeah.
All opposed? All abstain? 3 of you. Got it. 203. So funny. That hasn't happened before.
And then with the chair's permission, I'll run through the principal's reports.
Sure, we do have one, we have
Oh, you have another set of
several,
minutes? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I actually have a question about the non-public minutes because I didn't see any non-public minutes. So how do we, because there's supposed to be approval of non-public minutes, and it's asked to accept as presented.
If they weren't posted, then what you do is you don't take action on it,
Okay,
and then we'll have Dawn bring them back to the next meeting.
okay, perfect, thanks. And then we have the special meeting on February 13th and the district meeting. Should we move all of those as well
You can do
along?
those, yep.
Okay. I'll take a motion on, it's still you and me, Anne.
I move to accept the minutes from the February 13th, 2024 public hearing as presented.
I second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstain? 303. I'll take a motion on the annual meeting.
And I move to accept the minutes of the annual meeting as presented.
I second. I wasn't at the annual meeting. Can I still vote on this because I was a member time?
Yep.
Okay, just wanna make sure.
Yep.
Any discussion?
It was a good meeting.
Meeting. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstain? All right, and those are, motion carries. All right, we still have about 5 minutes, so if you wanna run
Yep.
through those principles.
Because I had my outline up and I took it away to look at the grant.
I'll accept a motion that the board recess until the conclusion of the public hearing on the acceptance and expenditure of FY '24 unanticipated revenue associated with the Security Action for Education SAFE grant.
So moved.
Any seconds? Everybody seconded. All right, pick one. All right, all in favor? Excellent. So the board goes into recess at 6:15, and we will reconvene after the public hearing is over. All right, hand to you, Andy.
Yep. Tonight's public hearing is to,
But it's not bulletproof. Do you mean like with bullets it would take 10 to 15 minutes, or do you mean with a crowbar, or you mean
a
with
crowbar, I'm not,
Curiosity is part of the reason using the school guard glass versus something that's like truly bulletproof, that a price difference?
it's a significant price difference.
Yeah.
And we have our schools audited by the State Homeland Security. And they feel this is, really a great setup. And they're the ones who have really instructed us to move to these lobbies. So basically, you're gonna get into the lobby, and you can't go anywhere except back out unless you're granted entrance by,
Of the outside windows, or will it be done in phases?
we'll start with the doors.
Okay.
And we'll start by recommendations through our local police department and Homeland Security of where they have the greatest concerns. And that's usually in areas that have low visibility.
Sure.
And then what we will do is, once we make our way through the building,
interim? So is it being held still by, those granting us the money, or do we put that somewhere, holding space? We have the $100,000. What do we do with it for the next year?
right now,
26, they'll still reimburse us.
well,
at the time.
the doorways, the 100,000 will be here probably in the next 8 weeks.
If there was a delay in procuring the glass, what happens in that, if it weren't to make it in time for the end of the summer?
Well, what we would do then is we would look at, the first one I think would be in November, where we have the Veterans Day weekend. And then we would utilize the Thanksgiving holiday, the Christmas holiday. We had to do that with one of our bathrooms this year. We weren't able to complete it during the summer, so we did it over a vacation period. The one with the missing drain. Yeah. We try not to have workers in the buildings when students are in the building. Even though we go through the required background check with everybody, even if they're just here in the summer, when no children are in the building. But we really try to avoid that. So the other thing we would do, if it had to be done, we'd probably enter into a contract for second shift.
For public comment at 6:24 p.m. There is nobody here right now, so do we give it a minute? Do we close it?
You can close it, whenever you see fit, because it was noticed. And just for the board, this is a typical crowd. But I can assure you that if something is wrong or we're not doing something correctly, there will be a crowd. So, lack of a crowd is an affirmation.
Yes. That said, I'm going to declare the public hearing closed since we are than a member of the body or agency itself.
So moved.
Second? We need to do a out loud roll call. So we'll start on your end.
Jessica Lehens.
And wait, Dee Pasquale, aye.
What, is there a different way I should say that?
Just say aye or,
Aye.
yep. There you go. And you voted already?
Yes.
Ralph?
Raphael Zach, aye.
Michelle Lawler, aye.
Carol Roy, aye. We are now going into non-public at 6:26 p.m. We will come back out and resume the meeting after we're done. Do we have any agenda adjustments? Second? All in favor? 5-0-0.
Okay, we'll sign that when you get a second. Next, some of you may recall Sam Boudreau. Sam was a longtime computer.
You'll see that we have a budget underrun of expenses right now of $727,718. We have some unfilled positions, and savings and benefits due to that, which is kind of what's, showing in the excessive amount of the 727. We have not spent the 95K contingency fund, that is still there. And we're showing a small deficit in the school board line, though, due to advertising and legal fees being over budget. For our revenue, we are expecting $17,231,960. So with the expense, with the underrun of the expenses and the revenue, we foresee an unreserved fund balance of $755,277. We then fund the trust funds that were voted on in March, the $125,000, the $23,970, and the $25,000. We also asked the board about a retained fund balance. Last year, you approved $284,000. If we do the same this year, that will leave us with a projected fund balance of $297,307, which is technically what goes back to the taxpayers at this time.
So, thank you, Donna.
Yep.
Any questions or comments for Donna on revenue and expense? All right, seeing none, we can move on to our deliberations, I believe. Our first one is to see what action the board will take regarding the acceptance and expenditure of the Security Action for Education, or SAFE, grant.
I see no reason not to accept this grant.
Okay, we need to have a motion.
Oh,
Can I
I'm
accept a
sorry.
motion? To approve the acceptance and expenditure of the Security Action for Education SAFE grants in the total amount of $200,000.
Would someone else say
I move we accept this grant. Let me see the, sorry, I just closed this trying to find.
You can also just say so moved, because
So
I
moved.
read it all. There
Great,
you go.
so moved.
And a second.
Second.
Excellent. All those in favor? Thank you. Actually, I should have said, any discussion before we voted? I'm just moving right through the thing, because we talked so much about it when we actually saw the presentation. Excellent, okay. And now we're moving into to see what action the board will take regarding general assurances grant guidelines. Andy?
In your board packet, you were provided with a lengthy document, which is the general assurance.
Consulted with all members of the school board in furtherance of the school board's obligations, including those enumerated in RSA 189:1-A, and pursuant to the school board's oversight of federal funds, district will be receiving, and of the general assurances, requirements, and definitions for participation in said federal programs.
Second? Ralph? Any discussion? Seeing none? No. All those in favor? 500. Thank you. All right. Our next discussion point, excuse me, is to see what action the board will take regarding teacher nominations. I'll take a motion.
I move to nominate, to accept the superintendent's recommendation for teacher nominations as presented.
Second? Any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor? 500. Motion carries. Our next point is to see what action the board will take regarding the proposed 2024-2025 school calendar. Andy?
In your board packet, you have what I would call a very traditional school calendar for Hollis and Brookline and the Hollis Brookline Co-op. We'd be looking at an opening day of August 29th. We have professional development days outlined on there, as well as early release days. Focus on both of those opportunities, professional development and early release. For the new board members, we are in the midst of updating a math program. So that professional development will be spent there, as well as we are in the process of looking at some professional development for literacy. Those are the two major topics, and you'll be getting further information on that in your May meeting. We traditionally will schedule voting days as days of professional development so that the schools are not occupied, because our high school has voting in it on major elections, and our Brookline folks vote in their gymnasium at CSDA. We're looking at a final day of school to be the 20th. There are 5 days built in for snow. If we go beyond that, we extend the school year. This year, we did not need to extend it, even with our April storm. It still put us at the 5, so that worked out very well. And the last day for teachers would be June 23rd, again, pending snow. The same calendar is approved by Brookline and the co-op, because one of the major pieces that we share is transportation. So it's important that we are not running extra runs for buses. And I'd be happy to take any questions.
Andy, April vacation's really late, isn't it?
I think it's the latest it can be next year.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's not following the normal week after Massachusetts?
Well, Massachusetts will be the 21st.
Really?
Is there a reason for that?
Massachusetts is always the Monday is the
Patriots Day.
Patriots Day, thank you.
Boston Marathon.
Boston
Patriots Day.
Marathon. So that is always traditionally their holiday, and then we're the following week. And it's been like that forever. There are some districts in New Hampshire that do the same week, but that's more because of their economics might be based around snow and things of that, so they have always planned it so they would have more workers available on the week of that vacation. So it is late.
Okay.
So just to clarify, the reason it seems like we're starting early, it's because there are more half-days and professional development days this year because of those programs that we're training teachers on.
No, it's the same starting day. It's the
Really?
Thursday before Labor Day.
Yep.
Gosh, it feels early.
The 3 days before it are teacher workshop days.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Oh, I thought between
It's
weeks.
just the
Okay.
way that the calendar falls
Yep.
this
This
year
year.
that it looks
Gotcha.
weird.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Just a note on the important dates section. It has the last day for teachers at June 20th. I think.
Nope, thank you
June 8th.
for catching that. I'll get that
Oh.
changed.
The teacher's gonna be like, you said.
Mhm.
I'm just kidding. So funny.
Thank you,
Good
we'll
catch.
update that.
Good catch, yes.
Excellent. All right. Any other questions on the calendar? Take a motion?
I move to approve the 2024-2025 school board calendar as presented.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor? 500. Excellent. Thanks, Andy. Our next one is to see what action the board will take regarding the reapproval of policy BCA, Board Member Code of Ethics.
Each year, the Hollis, Brookline, and Hollis Brookline Co-op boards approve a code of ethics that they try to adhere to throughout the calendar year of their service. It is a annual vote on this policy, always done at the reorg meeting, and it is done by roll call vote, so each individual member is affirming that they'll do their best of their ability to adhere to the code of ethics.
I'll take a motion.
I move that the board, by roll call, state agreement to adhere to policy BCA, Board Member Code of Ethics.
Second.
Second.
This one requires a voice vote, a roll call vote, so we'll start. Jess.
Jessica Lahens, aye.
Anne Wake DePasquale, aye.
Raphael Zach, aye.
Michelle Lawler, aye.
Carol Roy, aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Our next one is to see what action the board will take regarding the reapproval of policy DFA, investment.
The investment policy, again,
Our next one is to see what action the board will take regarding policy ACN, nursing mothers accommodations. The first reading was on January 3rd.
So if you look on the outline, you'll see that, Dawn prepares for us what are some of the comments the last time that the policy came up. Hopefully you had an opportunity to review the policy. This brings us into compliance with law. I'm told that basically these are allowances that we always had in place, and this is just making it official that we allow the space and time for nursing mothers without discrimination.
And to be clear, we were always following the law, but the law just changed to require that we had a policy on the books to reflect what we were already doing. I have a quick question since you're our policy guru. Why are we not waiving the third reading and adopting tonight? Can we?
It wasn't discussed at our policy committee, but we certainly could. I
don't-
think it was, I would imagine because it's the first time our new members are getting an opportunity to look at a policy, but if
well,
everybody's comfortable with that, we absolutely can. I have no objections to that.
No, I think we could just bring it then to May,
Yeah, we'll
right?
bring it to May.
And adopt
Yep.
it then.
Yep.
Then let's stick with the second reading. Thank you
Okay.
for discussing. Any other discussion? Actually, no, we haven't even gotten to discussion. It's like a motion. We're talking, we're not talking. We're discussing, we're motioning.
So I'm going to move to accept the second reading of policy ACN nursing mothers accommodations.
Second.
As amended.
Is there a second? You
Second.
can just say second, Raph. Excellent. All right, any discussion?
Since we've already discussed,
I'll
Carol.
get it right. I know, right? All those in favor? 5-0-0. Motion carries. And this is to see what action the board will take regarding policy JCA, change of school or assignment, best interests and manifest hardship.
Okay, and once again, this is another policy that's bringing us up to date with law. To address, if you look at the notes that are there from our last meeting, Carol, last time you wanted to know about the verbiage of academy. We did discuss that at our policy meeting. Basically, we're just covering all of our bases. If you look for a definition, it doesn't really delineate whether it's a private or a public. So it doesn't hurt us to have the word academy staying in there. So we decided to keep it as is.
Okay. But you're saying that it just, oh, sorry, I'll wait for discussion. Take a motion.
So I move to accept the second reading of policy JCA, change of school or assignment, best interest and manifest hardship.
A second?
Second.
Raph. Discussion.
And I'll take any questions on this policy that anyone has. I'm not sure, did everybody know you were supposed to read through these policies?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, great. So if anyone has a question.
All right, so my question, because you just said it's only public, or did you say public and private?
Public and private both use the terminology, but if we looked up several ways, like looking up academy, it's not really like an official designation. Like it doesn't say that that Academy is always a private school or always a public school, because public, charter, and private schools utilize it. For example, I think it's one of the Brookline schools uses Academy. I'm sorry, it's like CSDA, yeah. So basically, it's just another way to say school is basically how we interpreted it. So it just kind of covers all of our bases, and we didn't see any reason to strike it.
Okay,
I felt it was best to leave as is.
thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, we wondered too. We have the charter school in Nashua as well, the Academy of Science Design, for example.
Excellent. Any more discussion? All those in favor of approving the second reading? Motion carries. Andy, do I need to officially close the procedure in a second?
Second.
All those in favor? 500. Congratulations, you've successfully completed your first meeting as members of the Hollis School Board. Welcome aboard,
Well
guys.
done. Well
Thanks for
done.
being here.